Hello, hello, hello. I hope you all are having a super duper fantastic day out there today. Hey, y'all already know what day it is, right? It's Friday. It's my day, and I'm live at 5 a. I'm live at 5 a. It's Friday. It's my day, and I'm live at 5 a. I'm live at 5. Come on inside of the room. So the conversation today is whose job is it, right? So earlier this week, we started off the conversation with "You're never going to feel like it." Put that in the chat. I'm never going to feel like it. I'm never going to feel like it. And it's true. You're never going to feel like it. And we get that because sometimes we wait to feel good in order to do the things that we know that we should be doing. Hey, sissy, always right on time. Always right on time. Thank you so much for the beautiful red dress on Friday, my day, live at 5. Listen, and we're never going to feel like doing the things that we know that we should do in order to have the success that we want to have and that we want to see in our life. And I want you to get that. So I don't want you to be waiting to feel like you want to do it. And then Wednesday we talked about this is not my job and how deflating it is and how disappointing it is to hear people say that this is not my job when you have some type of problem or breakdown and in need of a solution and teamwork and collaboration, and people just keep not pitching in, not giving you ideas, not giving you solutions, but they're so quick to say this is not my job. This is not my job, right? And we talked about how you should just stop complaining and take ownership and create what it is that's needed in whatever space. But today we're going to talk about whose job is it, right? Because the question is, if it ain't your job, then whose job is it then? All right, so look, let me introduce myself. First, let me make the request. Share this video. If you're just hopping in here, if you're watching the replay, all the things, I want you to share the video. Yes, we have our final winner for the month of February coming up. And I just want to say thank you so much for all of you guys who sharing the content and spreading the word and let people know I'm here in this space to help you with your life and to help you achieve the goals that are important to you by giving you great information, steps, and things that you can take. But I'm also affectionately known as the results coach. So it's all about your performance. Put this in the chat. It's all about my performance. And you got to get that in order for you to see the results in your life. You have to perform. No ifs, ands, and but about it. You can't stay in your head. You can't learn more stuff. Like, it's going to require you to take action, action, action. All right. So Denise Merriweather here, founder, CEO of Queenpreneurs Jumpstart Program. It is a training environment for women in the world looking to leverage their knowledge, ignite their passion, and build a highly profitable business, right? You do this by building your courage, confidence, and competence so you can accept, believe, and commit to what it is that God has called you to do, which is going to require you to take some action, right? Faith without works is dead. Put that in the chat. All right, so this conversation is who jobs is it? Who job is it? So today, I was in a very awkward situation. Hey, Tiffany, new, how are you? So good to see you today. So definitely share this video. If you are, hopefully you're on my business page with the pink jacket, share this video out. This is going to be a great conversation. The conversation is who job is it? All right, so while you are standing in the space of maybe even answering that question or seeing that come up and come out and about, Janelle, oh my God, I'm so happy that you are here. That's right, faith without works is dead, and I'm so excited to see you tomorrow. We got so much to catch up on. But look, okay, listen. So this conversation about whose job is it? Put it in the chat. Whose job is it? And we talked about Wednesday. This is not my job, and that's not the conversation that you want to have. You really want to sit in this place of whose job is it? And I want to bust your bubble like very early on. If it's not your job, then whose job is it? If it's not your job, then whose job is it? So earlier today, I was in this situation where I set up this meeting, and it was with one of the contracts that I have, and I wanted to get some information on how I can wrap up the meetings that I was working on. And when I tell you, everybody that was scheduled to come to that meeting canceled, right? Whether life started to happen, they were pulled into some other place. Now, mind you, my call was supposed to start at 11 o'clock a.m. And these notifications that I was receiving came after 11 o'clock a.m., right? And as I was sitting there contemplating and thinking like, okay, as one message comes through inside of Outlook, another, like, not gonna be able to make it. This is a conflict. Now, mind you, I scheduled this meeting a couple of days ago. So in my mind, I'm thinking, oh my God, do they honor their word? Oh my goodness. So with all the things that popped up in their life, did they not feel like I was important enough to honor their word to me? Put this in the chat. Everything matters. Put it in the chat. Everything matters. So while I am sitting there thinking of a way to respond, because by no means did I want to say okay, that it was okay for all these people to pull out the last minute. I am knowledgeable and understand that life happens, but there is a way to communicate being out of integrity. And it's not you showing up or telling me the day of that you're not able to make it. Put it in the chat. Everything matters. Put it in the chat. Everything matters. So while you are sitting and contemplating whose job it is to do the things that you committed yourself to honor your word and to walk it out, it is your job to help bring solutions to problems that you see that you're confronted with. Is your job. And no, I didn't have to respond because someone from the team actually wound up showing up. It was almost like they could feel it in their spirit that this is not a good thing to do. And for those of us who don't have training and integrity and honor and word, right, we don't see missing meetings and not showing up and not communicating to be a bad thing, because these are habits that people have all the time. And there's never anyone stepping up to express that, look, everything matters. You can't just say something, flip it out your mouth, and not honor what it is that you said that you was going to do. But look, when you're standing in this place of whose job is it, when you get that is not acceptable, put this in the chat. It's unacceptable to tell people that it's not your job, right? Unacceptable. It's unacceptable to tell people. And I got my unacceptable shirt on today just for that very reason. But it's not acceptable for you to tell people that it's not your job, especially when you're standing in a powerful place. For some of you, you may work for different corporations and businesses, maybe even for yourself. And my question to you right now, what is it that you're standing for in your business, at your job? Because for some of us, or for most of us, we have jobs that we're actually passionate about and care about. And if you don't, then it's time for you to change something, then to move something and to do something different. Because you should not be giving your life to a job, an occupation, a vocation, something that does not touch, move, and inspire you. So listen to this. My stand is that everybody in the world that I come in contact with will be able to experience life exactly the way that they want to. And that's in every area, in their career, in their relationships, and in their finances, in their health and well-being. Like, my stand is that everyone experience life exactly the way that they want to, and not allowing outside pressures, conversations, or anything to not allow that to happen. Thank you for people in the chat putting it as unacceptable to tell people that it's not your job. You got that right. So here it is. So now that we kind of got that, whatever situation that you're facing, that you're pulled into, that you see that's happening around you, I want you to put that is my job. Put it in the chat. It's my job. And here's the thing. I don't mean that it's meant for you to execute all the things, but I'm going to give you some pointers on how to enroll your team or people that you're around, or to get people to help you with the things that matter to you. There's some things that you could be doing in order to foster that type of environment. But first, you got to have a stand. So put inside the chat, what is your stand for the world, for everybody? Because I know that my sister practices child advocacy law. See, I know her heart and her passion is for the kids. For me, it's mainly for women who want to build a life or a career that they love, that they're passionate about, right? Because I stand that everybody has the life that they want in every area of their life, but I'm able to coach them in all things. But that's my message. I call out to women who want to have a career or a business doing what it is that they love. What is your stand? What are you standing for? When you wake up every morning, what is it that you're giving your life to? Because life is precious and it's short. And we are on the clock, believe it or not, right? Time is definitely running out. As I turned 45 last year, going towards my 46th year, I get that I am closer probably to the end than I am in the beginning. Now, even though I'm going to make 100 with ease, I'm halfway there, right? I'm almost at the halfway mark. I'm almost at 50. And I got to be sure that the things that I'm giving my time to are things that I'm passionate about and things that's important to me. So what is your stand? Put this inside the chat. No, it's not a point yet, LaShawn. I just want to know what your stand is. And thank you for putting there. What is your stand? What is your stand? Tell me, what are you standing for? Like every morning, what are you giving your life to? And while you say, I stand to serve people to make their lives better with my advocacy, my works, my time, and I guess that's supposed to be my talent. It says 10th, but my talent, right? So look, whatever it is that you have, that you're giving forth into the world, you're standing for in the world, is what's going to drive you each and every day to get up, to give the money, to give the time, to give your talents, to give your abilities, to give your gifts. And whatever that stand is, here's what I want you to get when you start thinking about whose job it is and how you actually get the ball moving on the things that you're passionate about. Here's number one. Number one is you need to walk it like you talk it. Put that in the chat because that's my number one. Walk it like you talk it. See, as a manager, as someone that was responsible for developing people, and even in my business, I have to walk exactly the way that I talk so that people who are watching can actually see that I'm not an imposter, that I'm not lying, that I actually do want to give myself to people and to the things that I'm passionate about. But they have to be able to look at my life and see that my life reflects what it is. Okay, talent and intent to give to others. Okay, got it. So look, as you are walking it like you talk it, it gives you credibility for what it is that you're standing for and that you're saying that you're working towards. But if people can't look at you and see that you are actually walking like you talk it, then it's going to be hard for them to get on the bandwagon to assist you with the goals and the dreams that you have. Okay. Number two is clear expectations. Put that in the chat. See, while you're communicating whatever the stand is that you have in life and you're worried or not worried about whose job it is, you got to be clear on the expectations for the people that you want to join you on this journey or to assist you with the things that you're up to. Because sometimes we have expectation of people helping us and jumping in and being supportive in the things that we're doing when we haven't really clearly made sure that they understood what was happening. Because people will find it hard to take responsibility for things that they don't understand. Like nobody wants to make mistakes, even though we're all going to make mistakes, but no one wants to fail or make mistakes in things that they feel like if they had more competency, they would be successful in. So you have to get clear on your expectations and make sure that your people have what it is that they need in order to carry out the expectations that you have. Number three is set standards, right? Meaning that there should be some goals. I remember sharing this conversation when I led the new possibilities for the new year. And I talked about how I was initially as a manager, right? I was more of a dictator. I wanted to have control and I wanted to control people. Put it in the chat. Stop controlling people. Stop trying to control people because you can't control people, right? But I wanted to control people. So I actually gave tasks and assigned tasks based on a list or a checklist or action items. But that is not how you develop people. That's you controlling people. And what I'm saying is when it comes to you developing people and setting standards, you need to give people freedom and flexibility to figure out their own way to get the results. So you do want to have a result or a goal or an end in mind. And you want to tell them by when you want this to be done, but you don't want to tell them how they get there. That's the same way when we pray to God and we ask God for the things that we want. It ain't our job to be worried and concerned about how we're going to get what it is that we're praying for. But it is our job to prepare the way that we know that we need to prepare, to know the who and know the what. So when we actually see it and it shows up and it manifests in our life, we know that we actually have the thing that we prayed for. But it ain't our job to be telling God how to do nothing. And it's the same way when you're managing and developing people. It ain't your job to tell them the how, but you should definitely have clear goals that are measurable, that they can see, and have enough time to actually get it done. Don't put your people behind the gun. Don't put them in last minute situations, but you got to set standards. You got to have something measurable. Put in the chat, we measure what matters. We measure what matters. So do not have people doing things for you and you have no way of tracking and see how they're doing. Okay, number four, you really need to work on your enrollment skills. And when I say enrollment, I mean having powerful conversations with people to get on board with the goals that you have at hand. So again, my stand is that everybody in this whole world be able to experience life exactly the way that they want to in any area of life that is important to them. So career, finances, relationships, physical spiritual, mental health, like all the things. And whatever your stand is, you're consistently enrolling people in that stand that you have in order to get the support that you need to get the job done. So if you're not having powerful conversations with people every day, and I'm not talking about sometimes, I mean every day, you should have some conversations enrolling people in something that you care about, even if it's something fun like going to the movies. Because sometimes we actually don't put leisure and fun within the things that we should be doing for self, but you should be having fun. You should be enrolling people in what it is that you're doing that's exciting for them and for you. All right. So number 4, always enroll people. Number five, do a clear check-in, like check in. Put number 5, check in. So while you're giving these goals and assignments and enrolling people, you need to be checking in with them to make sure that they have and are reaching these small milestones. Because what we think is giving somebody an assignment, right? Or telling them that something needs to be done, but never checking in with them. Do you know people procrastinate? Do you know people think they got more time than they do? Haven't you ever said, like, oh my God, I had so much time to complete this. Where did the time go? Now I only have a week. Now I only have this amount of time, but you was given the project like 2 months ago, but you couldn't find the motivation or the gusto to get into action. Put in the chat, get into action. Put in the chat, get into action. But as a leader, as someone who is 100% called in the matter, for someone who's taking on the job and the responsibility and the ownership of making something come about, it's your job to check in with the people that you gave the assignments to. Do not leave them out there by themselves. Do not never check in with them. Now, there's certain things I don't do a lot of hand holding, right? Like sending a whole bunch of reminders and all this stuff, but there should be checkpoints in place, like a check-in meeting once a week, so you can see how people are moving and what their habits are, because based on what you see will tell you what it is that they need in order to develop them, in order to get them moving in the right direction. Maybe it is another conversation. Maybe it's because they're not clear on the expectation. Maybe they're not sure of your stance. But if you have check-in meetings, it'll prevent things from falling through the cracks. Okay, all right, that was number 5. Number six is make sure that you're supporting people and you're training them. See, also, when I was on this call this morning, the reason why I needed the call was because I needed to make sure that I was supported and that I had the training that I need in order to wrap up the meetings that I was working on. And so I needed to have that conversation, because once I wrap it up, I don't want people calling me 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks or months down the line saying, Deneen, we still need this, or we didn't receive this. So I needed to be clear on what I needed to hand in. So when I wrap this meeting up, it's forever wrapped. And you need to do the same thing for the people who are supporting you in the stand that you have, the goals that you have, the dreams that you are bringing into fruition. Make sure that they have your support and you're training them to be able to execute the things that you have handed over into their lap. Okay, number 7 is honest feedback. Put it in the chat. Honest feedback. So number 6, I didn't see number 6 in there. Somebody missed it. Support and training. Then number 7 is honest feedback. So thank you, LaShawn. I see it. So honest feedback. So here's the thing about honest feedback. When I was sitting talking to my sister about this situation, I was like, yeah, I wanted to respond that, it wasn't cool for everybody to not come. But I also wanted to make sure that I said it in a way, right? Like honest feedback. And you don't want to be afraid to be able to say or speak your truth, because self-expression is a real thing. Put that in the chat. Self-expression is a real thing. Self-expression is a real thing. And you want to be able to be self-expressed in whatever it is, whatever situation that you're in. So I know that, hey, I'm going to have to express people showing up to these meetings. Why? Because everybody matters, and my time is valuable and their time is valuable. And if you're not able to make it, it needs to be communicated before the meeting comes, before I already show up in place, ready to execute my thoughts, my plans, and use and utilize my time, right? So honest feedback. Make sure that you create a space for people to come to you and be able to express what's on their minds, what's in their hearts, what it is that they think could be better, what solutions they have that they want to present to you or to adopt, okay? And then number eight is you want to be solution-based. Like, we do a whole lot of complaining. Remember, I said stop complaining earlier this week on Wednesday, when you talk about this is not my job, like stop complaining. We do a lot of complaining. We have problems and issues. That's just a part of life. That's just a part of working and being a part of projects. But you want to get that you want to be solution based. So when people come to you with problems and they're explaining or complaining about whatever it is that's not working, I want you to condition them to come up with solutions or to come forward with solutions when they come to you with the problem, because you really want to only have to give your blessings, not to just be dumped on or to be the garbage can. Because who wants to be somebody garbage can listening to them complain all the time? I know I don't, and hopefully you don't either. So number 8 is solution based. Build the people around you, support the people around you to have solutions to the problems that they're having. And all you want to be able to do is give your blessings. All right. So number nine, and this is the last thing. And I know that we had a lot of points today, but I think this is a great conversation about whose job it is and how you can operate and be someone that is a leader that develop people and not complain about people and talk about it's not your job. It is your job, because you're standing for everybody to have whatever it is that you're standing for. So if you want everybody to have it, guess what? It's your job to make sure that everybody has it. Okay. Number 9 is acknowledge performance. Acknowledge performance. So when people are on your team or supporting you with whatever it is, like I'm sure to acknowledge my team, LaShawn and Sherilyn, for the way that they show up for me, the way that they share my videos, the way that whenever I have a class, they're the first people to register, they're the first people to show up, right? So you want to acknowledge them publicly for what it is that they're doing, and specifically for what it is that they're doing, right? The way that they show up, the way that they support, the way that they jump in, the way that they share, the way that they acknowledge what it is that I'm doing, the way that they share with me how I change and impact their life, right? That's something that you want to acknowledge, and you want to acknowledge publicly. But for the things that they may need critique on or they need to improve, you want to make sure that you talk about those things privately, right? You want to coach them privately, and you also want to be clear on what the repercussions would be if they don't course correct, right? Because sometimes people don't perform because they just don't want to. But you got to be sure that you let them know, like, hey, if you don't correct this path or this action and get in alignment with what's going to give you the results, this is what the consequence is going to be. And it's not that I want this to be here because I want you to be on the team, but if you don't get in alignment, you might need to consider doing something else. And I would be more than happy to help you. I remember Brendan Burchard saying that about some of his team members. He was like, when people don't fit in a particular spot, I don't force them to stay or to continue to do something that doesn't work. I encourage them to look for an area that does work, and I'm going to be their main supporter of helping them land that job or start that career or move forward in whatever position that they need to be in that will work better for them. But they cannot stay on this team and be the weak link. Like they can't take us down, right? Put it in the chat. You can't take us down. You can't take us down, right? So you got to be clear on your performance. And that's why it's so important that we live in the world of performance and not in the world of reasons and excuses, right? I say this sometimes when I look over my life and the things that I wanted to achieve. There's sometimes where I had more reasons than results, right? I always had some reason why I couldn't do something, why there wasn't enough time, why this didn't fit in my calendar, why I didn't have enough money, why I didn't have enough education, right? These reasons. And we all may be guilty of having these reasons that's preventing us from moving forward in the things that we care about and the things that we're passionate about. And what I'm saying is, don't have more reasons than results. Get the results. Get in the world of performance. Take the action that you need to take in order to see the things appear in your life that you want. So look, that was a lot, but I'm going to recap it the best way that I can. I'm going to show LaShawn's post, since she was just so nice to do it. So thank you so much for doing this. So number one, whose job is it? It's your job. And it's on your stand, whatever your stand is. If you want to work in a culture that everyone is accountable and responsible and take ownership of the things that they're assigned to do, you have to be that leader first. You have to walk it like you talk it. You have to walk it like you talk it. Number 2 is be clear with your expectations and the things that you want to see happen. Number 3 is set your standards, your goals, your measurables, what you're looking at, what you're expecting people to do, by when, and not how, by when and to what, and by what time and what results. Number 4 is work on your enrollment skills. Like you should be having conversations every day with people, enrolling them and what it is that you're up to. Enrollments is, oh, thank you, LaShawn, means having powerful conversation with people to get them to stand and to help you and to support you, whatever you need to get the job done, to make the difference in the people's lives that you're standing for. Number 5, have check-ins. Like you need to have a checkpoint where you're checking in with people that's on your team all the time, like, once a week or some form of communication or pathway that when they have questions, they can reach out to you. Number 6, make sure that you are supporting people and training people. Don't think these people can figure this stuff out on their own. You didn't figure it out on your own. Somebody helped you, so help them. Number 7, honest feedback. You want to create an atmosphere where people can be self-expressed and say what's on their mind and in their heart. Number 8, you want solution-based conversation. When people come to you with problems, great. Hear the problems, but you also want to hear what's their solution. And you want to make sure that you're training people in that way. So when they come, it's not super taxing on you and your energy. And it's not that you become now the person that have to fix or work out everything. You want it to be a solution-based situation. All you want to have to do is give your blessings. And then number 9, acknowledge performance, good, bad, or indifference. Performance, acknowledge them on what it is that they do well publicly, exactly specifically what it is that you enjoy that they do. And then if they need correction, do that in private. Do you get that? All right. You can't take us down. So if it don't work for you, we're going to see that you get something else, a new position, a new place where it would be more in alignment with your skill set and the things that you're passionate about and the way that you actually want to develop yourself. So look, here is our final winner for this week. And look, I can't say nothing about it. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. If you're sharing, you're sharing. And if you're not, you're not. So LaShawn Michael, you win again. Thank you so much for your consistency, your sharing. And if you want to bless somebody, you can. But you got another blessing coming your way. $25, however you want it. I could Zelle it. I could Cash App it. I could gift card it. I could send it through the mail. But thank you so much for your support of this channel, this work. Being a part of this team and always showing up and being here. Look at how you've been taking the notes today, girl. Just amazing. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being supportive. Thank you so much for sharing. And she said, this was so good, Sissy, and helpful. Thank you. You are so very welcome. Thank you so much. And yes, you win again. You win again. So thank you so much, y'all, for being here. It is Friday. I'm live at 5 on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And I have a program coming back out that I want you to keep in the back of your mind. Is Becoming a Change. I will be opening up registration for the next session soon. So just stay locked in. Continue to share this work. Continue to be here Monday, Wednesday, Fridays at 5. Always looking forward to serving you. I will see you guys on Monday because I'm live at 5. Hey, I'm live